Hello and welcome to another episode of the Offside Lounge Podcast. We have come off an interesting 3 days of Champions League football, and football is blessing us with another really big game over the weekend, which is Manchester City versus Arsenal. Game day 5, and we've got such a big game. Do you guys think it can be a potential title decider? What do you think, Viraj?
Honestly, not yet because it's not December yet, so I don't think it's right for me to say that it's gonna be a title decider. But yeah, I'll wait for the second fixture for now. But yeah, looking at the table, the match is pretty exciting, and hopefully we get a win out of this match this year.
हमें तो देखो क्या लगता
But
है?
too
Is it
early,
going?
too early to say कि title decider होगा. Even though City जीता, they'll be like what 5 points clear. But 5 point कुछ भी नहीं है. अभी we are in September, so long way to go.
Yeah.
And looking at both the teams, they are superb at each position. There's a tough fight. Especially I would like कल ही मैंने वो recently reel देखा. वो हालांड ने क्या लास्ट सीजन ऐसा स्प्रिंट लेता सालिबा उसको गिरा देता है पूरा नॉट टुडे करके ऐसा रील था तो सालिबा वर्सेस हालांड विल बी फन एंड
Hmm.
स्टर्लिंग को देखना मजा आएगा सिटी के अगेंस्ट इन आर्सेनल किट
Yeah.
इंटरेस्टिंग
ट्रू एक क्वेश्चन है मेरे माइंड में स्पेशली लाइक आई एम नॉट श्योर इट कैन बी यूज्ड एज एन एक्सक्यूज और नॉट बट आर्सेनल ने सिटी के बाद यूसीएल का गेम खेला है विच मींस एंड प्लस आर्सेनल ने अभी भी खेला है सिटी technically because of that has got one extra day of rest and they are playing at home as well. Do you think that might play an important role in deciding the result of the game? Will fatigue set in for Arsenal?
It might. Honestly, looking at the past, we've seen that managers do complain about such stuff if they tend to lose the match
Hmm.
and come up saying that they had an away game and City got an extra day off, whereas City played their Champions League fixture at home. So Arteta will try to make that as an example to win against City and then to say that, yes, um, regardless of whatever came through, we did go ahead and we won the game. So yeah,
It'll be a string of tough fixtures for Arsenal. Yes, Spurs, Atlanta, and then City as well. Abhi.
City, yeah,
So, I
हाँ
mean,
और बट
I
ये कैसे ये अभी फ्रीक्वेंटली होते रहेगा बिकॉज
hmm,
players have already started complaining about the number of matches they have to play
matches.
this season.
true.
So ये टाइम आई थिंक ये वीक आर्सेनल है अगले वीक कोई और टीम का ऐसा होगा ही सो
Huh.
फटीग तो रहेगा आर्सेनल विल हैव टू कीप अप विद द सिटीज टेम्पो टिल द 90th मिनट पर आई थिंक अभी ऐसा हुआ है कि प्लेयर्स एंड मैनेजर्स आर एक्सेप्टिंग वो एक 3-4 साल पहले से ये बहुत लाइक नॉट तीन इवन बिफोर लाइक 4-5 सालों से ये बहुत ऐसा हो रहा है कि ज्यादा गेम्स खेल रहे हैं प्लेयर्स बट नाउ आई थिंक they are also mentally prepared. Like we are talking right now, but Arsenal ने ये बहुत पहले से pre-plan किया रहेगा. It's such a big game, and they know when they have like tight schedule, and उसके हिसाब से वो plan out करते हैं. So I think yes, they will have fatigue, but they are prepared mentally for that.
And
और
I
अगले
think
साल से
squad
तो
depth
क्लब
भी
वर्ल्ड
बहुत,
कप ही रहेगा
yeah,
तो
squad depth
हाँ,
बहुत matter करेगा ये season.
ट्रू
Especially
actually.
Champions League format में जब से है.
हाँ
I think Arsenal have got a good squad depth, but looking at the injuries
आर्सेनल
that they've got,
इंजरीज
um,
यस
Odegaard, Merino, Zinchenko, I think Tierney is also injured.
Odegaard, yes, Odegaard will be a very big miss for Arsenal in
Miss,
the
yeah,
midfield. But I think वो लोग ने pretty well cope किया है in the past few games as well. And I think they'll like Arteta can get the best out of the other guys as well. So
yeah.
I'm not questioning the tactics at all. But coming back to that last season as well, Arsenal at home won against City 1-0. I think Gabriel Martinelli scored the winner in that match. And then we had a draw, a very controversial draw with, Arsenal legit just playing for the draw, and City players like Rodri as well were really complaining that if they were in their position, they would have gone for the win.
Yeah.
Um, मेरे ओपिनियन में एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम इट वाज राइट बिकॉज सिटी कुछ अलग ही लेवल पे था उस टाइम पे, एंड आर्सेनल इफ दे जस्ट नीडेड टू सर्वाइव एट दैट पॉइंट। वो अलग बात है कि वो लोग उसके बाद दे ड्रॉप पॉइंट्स आफ्टर दैट गेम एंड एंडेड अप लूजिंग द टाइटल। But do you think Arteta is going to go for the same approach, especially seeing the last two games as well, where Brentford and Inter as well, they played with a very low block and were defending very well as well. Other Inter especially did a really good job. Do you think Arteta is
Yeah.
going to use a similar approach, or play defensive football, or go all out attack against City and try and just get the 3 points, or risk it all?
I think with Inter, they did really manage to dodge a bullet there because we were absolutely lethal in our attack. Somehow in the final third, we couldn't score. But coming to Arsenal, I think Arsenal have got the best morale in their team right now compared to other teams in the Premier League. So I would say if Arteta happens to plan a tactic against City, it's going to be all out attack, at least for the first half. Because if it backfires, I think they'll settle up. They'll settle for a parking the bus and drawing the match. But yeah, looking at the
Yeah.
morale, I
Yeah,
don't
even
think Arteta is gonna hold back any guns. He's gonna go for it.
I feel it's going to be a very boring game, honestly. Or if not boring, at least a very low scoring game, if nothing else. But yeah, like with City as well. De Bruyne is probably not going to play the entire game. I know Pep Guardiola said that he might play one half. Now it depends which half, either the start or the end. But um, we know the Haaland and De Bruyne connection is almost next level. Is Haaland not performing in the big games because he's not getting those passes from De Bruyne, or what do you think? Is he gonna be a big threat? I mean, he's always a big threat, obviously, in
Yeah.
front of goal. But do you think he's going to score a goal for City tonight?
Honestly, I would want him to because not as a City fan, but say in terms of experiences that we've had, even if you compare Arsenal last season, they managed to grab two clean sheets against City, regardless of the fact that the goal that Martinelli scored was a big deflection, but they held their fort and they won the game. So kudos to them, totally deserving. But yeah, talking in terms of Haaland, he did not score against Madrid, and yet we had four goals on the trot in the second leg. It's
Yeah.
kind of a tactic that Pep plays where the most important player is to just to mess around with their defenders, just to think
Mm.
as of him as a decoy, so that others, because we've had seasons in the past where Aguero and Jesus, who were used to be injured, and Guardiola used to play false nine and play
Yeah.
Gundogan on false nine. So he's got
yes.
midfielders who could do the role. But yeah, compared to those seasons, I think we've now that we've got a striker who can do everything. I think he should be able to score one today. So I'm
I
hoping for
feel
it.
I feel like he will score. I feel he will score today because सी टेम्पो बहुत मैटर करता है फुटबॉल में एंड वो हर गेम लाइक एटलीस्ट नॉट इन चैंपियंस लीग अभी चैंपियंस लीग में तो नहीं मारा बट प्रीमियर लीग में अब तक जितने गेम्स ही हैज बीन टॉप नॉच मतलब कितना आई थिंक सब टीम से ज्यादा गोल उसने मारे हैं ना आई थिंक लिवरपूल yesterday scored 3 so I think they might have crossed Haaland
Yeah,
now
Liverpool scored
Haaland
three,
versus
Chelsea
other
scored
Premier League
three as
teams
well. Yeah.
yeah so वो तो कल हुआ but from like since Premier League started he has been compared to the teams.
Yep.
So टेम्पो अच्छा है, ही इज इन गुड फॉर्म, टच अच्छा है उसका. सो आई फील ही विल स्कोर टुडे बट यस एज प्रणीत सेड बहुत एग्रेसिव गेम नहीं होगा स्टार्टिंग में. both teams will go all in. But I think the team which scores the first will have a great advantage because दोनों का defense solid है. Like
Hmm.
if one takes the lead, they will be able to stop the opposition's attack.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to be the key player for City and for Arsenal?
For Arsenal, Raya.
Ah,
He's been
क्या
amazing.
player है
he's
भाई
been
क्या
amazing,
player
man.
है
He's been amazing, and
He's
I
been
I saw the
amazing.
यार
highlights
देख
against
I was
Atlanta.
स्पीकिंग टू आर्सेनल फैन तो मैं उसको वही बोला कि मैं उसको हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि यार मुझे वो एमिलो मार्टिनेज बिल्कुल पसंद नहीं है बट स्टिल वो क्या कीपर है तुम मतलब ही सो गुड बट राया ये सीजन अलग ही फॉर्म में है उसका रिफ्लेक्सेस क्या पता मतलब सुपर ही इज एंड स्पेशली की मोमेंट्स पे ही इज शोइंग अप फॉर द टीम एंड फॉर द सिटी आई थिंक रॉड्री आई थिंक ही विल एबल टू हैंडल द गेम मिडफील्ड पूरा ओन करेगा आज भी बिकॉज ऑडिगार्ड नहीं है सो वो एक उसके लिए और बेनिफिट है रॉड्री के लिए सो आई थिंक रॉड्री एंड राया व्हाट अबाउट यू विराज
For City, I think I would want Doku to start against Ben White, and I've seen Doku against Chelsea and the match after that against Ipswich. Both the games were amazing. He was absolutely phenomenal. So yeah, Doku would be the player for me to. I know that he sucks in the final thirds, cannot pass really well, but um, he would be able to create a lot of chances. And looking at the midfield and the strike, we can definitely try to get one goal in. So Doku for City, and for Arsenal, I think I would go with Gabriel again because it's like with Saliba, he gets shadowed a little bit, but
Yeah,
he turns out to be the bigger player in a lot of matches. I think he even
yeah
posted a story of his after scoring against Tottenham, the number of man of the matches and team man of the.
that was his
I think
wife.
yeah,
Yeah,
oh, it was his
player of
wife.
the man of the match
Player of the
against
match, and yeah,
yes Spurs
he scored like six, seven
last
of
season and
those.
this
So
season as well. Yeah, I think for me, for a change, we might see Haaland giving an exceptional performance. Mainly, the only key reason why I say this is out of all the big players that come to mind for both these teams, um, Haaland's probably the only elite player that has had an amazing summer where he's rested. He's done a lot of rehab. He's put in all the work, and we're seeing the results already. While as there was the Euros and the Copa America, and
yeah,
there's still a lot of fatigue with the number of games that we're going to play. I have a feeling that Arteta for this match is going to try and go for a draw, which might actually backfire. I don't think Arteta is going to play all out attack for Arsenal because Arsenal मेरे हिसाब से ऐसा टीम है जो सिटी और लिवरपूल लाइक बिग टीम्स से जीत जाएगा लाइक लास्ट सीजन एज वेल. They got results against City. Like at least a point is the minimum against City, against Liverpool as well, but ended up losing to Aston Villa both the times, which eventually, if
yeah,
you see in the bigger picture, lost the title because of that. So I think the same way Arteta, mere hisab se, is going to go for that point because in the long run, if they want to be in that title race again, of course not third, fourth, but they want to fight for first or second place. If they get that 5 point gap in between, एंड सिटी दिसंबर के बाद तो अलग बीस्ट हो जाता है, वो सबको पता है. सो सिटी एंड आर्सेनल इज नो एक्सपर्ट इन डिफीटिंग ऑल द लोअर टीम्स. वो लोग उन्हीं से हारते हैं. सो दैट दिस गेम आई फील माइट, इफ दे हैपन टू लूज, can be a big issue for Arsenal in terms of I trying to either win the Premier League this season or at least come second again. So I feel Haaland might might take advantage somehow of the defensive football because he's got the pace as well. So I think Haaland can capitalize. So for City, it'll be Haaland for me, and Arsenal again, Gabriel. I think he's going to put in a shift for this game as well. So it'll be interesting to see how Saliba and Gabriel together can keep Haaland out. And um, that going from that again, we'll go to our predictions. Viraj, what do you think is going to be the scoreline?
I think the midfield will overpower City's midfield will overpower Arsenal's midfield tonight because I am thinking that Pep is going to play the same against Chelsea with Rico Lewis coming into the midfield and Walker on the bench. So it would be fun to see Lewis, Rodri, and Bernardo if he plays all together. So yeah, I as a matter of predicting the scores, I would say we will win 2-1, 2-1 to City.
2-1 to City. Oh, that's good. Amey, तेरा क्या स्कोर है? What do you think is going to be the scoreline?
सो अभी कल से पेप ने अपना माइंड गेम स्टार्ट किया है, जैसे वो केडीपी के बारे में बोला कि विल प्ले ओनली 45 मिनट्स. बट आई थिंक सिटी विल, एज विराट सेड, मिडफील्ड में बॉस भाई रॉड्री अपना जादू दिखाएगा एंड ही विल कंट्रोल द मिडफील्ड अलोंग विद, लेट्स से हु प्लेज गुंडोगान, बर्नार्डो, जो भी है, एंड 1-0 फॉर सिटी. या, सिटी विल विन.
Okay, yes. So I would say Man City and Arsenal are gonna draw. It's gonna
1-1.
be a 1-all game. Like I said before as well, Arsenal's gonna try and get at least 1 point out of this game. So we might see either a 0-0 or a 1-1 draw. I'd at least like to see one goal scored on both ends. So yeah, that should be an interesting team game to watch rather in terms of the tactics they're going to use, but I'm pretty sure we're going to also see a very stinker of a match. Would prefer to see, because obviously सबको high scoring matches देखना अच्छा लगता है भाई, और हम लोग तो ऑस्ट्रेलिया में रात के 1:30 अगर मैच देख रहे हैं तो क्वाइट मैच हुआ तो और ही नींद आएगी. But ठीक है, let's see how this turns out, and we'll also probably get a glimpse as to how this game is going to affect the Premier League table at the end of the season as well. So on that note, we'll conclude this video for today. Please stay tuned. We keep coming out with more content, and make sure you like and share this video and press the subscribe button as well. See you.